Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Black in Session podcast. My name is Tyler Christian, and with me, I got the homie. Introduce yourself.
Hey, what's up, everyone? My name is Ade Olusami, and I'm back here with Tyler, ready to talk shop. So let's do it.
Yeah, we got a bunch of things to go over today. The day that we're recording this is the 2nd of November, which means tomorrow will be election day. So a lot of things when it comes to the presidential debate. But before we get started, man, how you been? How things been going for you?
Uh, it has been a rough couple of weeks. Well, okay, let me say it like this. It's been bad for me, but it could be a lot worse. So I'll just give you just a quick rundown. So I went to New York a few weeks ago to visit my brother, right? So we were playing basketball one day, and we was playing hard, and then I ended up rupturing my Achilles. So like I don't know if you saw when like KD ruptured his Achilles back in like the NBA Finals 2019. He like did a quick move. His like the back of his knee just like popped.
Yeah.
The back of his ankle. The same exact shit happened to me. Like so, I was just like, it felt like somebody just shot me like a sniper. Right, and so I was like, what the fuck? So then that happened like almost 2 weeks ago. So pretty much since then I've been like struggling to walk. I gotta get surgery pretty soon, so I'm getting surgery actually this Wednesday. So that's something I gotta look forward to, and then pretty much from then on I'm gonna be basically out of commission for the next couple months. I saw, because it was just Halloween that just passed by, right? So I saw a lot of people going out, celebrating, dressing up, going to different places. I'm like, I can't even do that because like I can't even walk right now.
That's crazy.
So yeah, but it'll be easy. See, here's the thing though, it'll be easy for me to be like mad, like, oh wow, why does that happen to me? I'm gonna be injured, but it's just like I still try to count my blessings. You know what I mean? So it's like it could be a lot worse. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna walk again eventually. Like I'll be fine. I have a job that I'm able to like work from home, so like I'll be fine as far as like working, as far as like being able to just do me. So that's just a quick update on my end, but it's life. I'll be back to normal in 3 to 6 months or so. But it is what it is.
I got you, man. That's rough, man. Well, I mean, I pray for better health, bro.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Of course.
So what about you? What's been going on with you? Because it's been a while since we last talked.
Yeah. I mean, same old, bro. Still kicking it with the baby. You know, still dad stuff. Still job searching. That's like the big concern right now. Unemployment is, you know, it's getting a little bit more reduced. It's gotten more reduced over the past few weeks.
But I feel like it's still relatively high.
Yeah. So I'm trying to, you know, I gotta get back to work because the unemployment benefits aren't really helping out as much nowadays. So in the meantime, I'm trying to get back to being healthy. I haven't been able to work out like that. I haven't been able to hoop either. So
I can't work out. I can't hoop either.
I know, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, man. Sorry to hear about, you know, the job search and everything. Because I remember, because I frequently like go on LinkedIn. Like it's sort of like been normal to me. Like I see a lot of people. So like, don't think you're the only one. Like a lot of people that are very qualified with, you know, degrees and experience in such and such fields. They're like looking through, struggling to find a job because like with everything that happened with COVID, there's just a lot of uncertainty right now, a lot of layoffs. So like, definitely don't think like you're the only, like you're not the only one looking for jobs. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, for sure. That's been like my mindset. Like I actually recorded a video last week and I put it up, and it's literally just me talking about how I understand I'm not the only one who's going through a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And I talked on a bunch of different things. My mental health, graduating from school, not being around people anymore, not having a job, being a single dad, just all the different things that have like occurred over the past few months. And yeah, that's definitely been the idea, just understand that I'm not the only one. And that's good, you know, it's okay to just, I have to understand that like I'm not the one going through all this stuff. My situation is unique, and you know, I can connect with other people through that. And you know, I got a lot of feedback and a lot of people, you know, reaching out to me and like, you know, catching up and, you know, just let me know that, bro, yeah, it's all good. Like I understand how you feel. And that was just yeah, and that's what's been helping as well. Trying to work on YouTube and things like that, little projects like that. So
you always gotta look, and like it sounds cliche, but like you always gotta look on the bright side. Like, yeah, this year's it's been hard on you, I'm sure, but it's been hard on everybody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So be thankful that you're still in good health. Be
Mm-hmm.
thankful that you still have loved ones around you, good friends, good family around you that you can always reach out to for advice or whatever you need. You know what I mean? So, because a lot of people don't even have that, don't even have
Yeah.
a lot of those basic things that you need. You know what I mean? So, you just
Yeah.
gotta be thankful. You gotta be grateful. That's why, like with me, with my injury, I'm like, man, it could be a lot worse from that. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna trip. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, for sure.
you just gotta keep it pushing.
That's a strong mindset.
Yeah.
All right.
Ah,
You ready to get into this deep conversation?
it is election 2020, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So yeah, again, election day is tomorrow, and
Mm,
this is a pretty big debate, or a pretty big choice for us as American citizens,
mm,
especially I think with all the things that have happened over the past couple of years,
mm.
in
Yep.
the past couple of months. It's kind of important that we are very aware of what we're doing and who we're choosing, and then just the simple fact that we should be going out there to vote and everything.
Right.
Um, so since the
Yeah.
last time we talked, there was another debate between our presidents and as well as the vice presidential debate, which I didn't, I didn't watch a lot of that, but I did watch a bit of the last presidential debate.
Yeah. Everybody was just talking about the fly on his head.
Yeah,
Like nobody was even talking. I don't even remember what they said. I'll be honest with you. I
yeah,
just remember the fly on his head.
yeah,
Yeah. And then we had the last presidential debate, which I don't really remember too much about anything that was like said that was like out of the ordinary. It
uh-huh,
was it was just basically just them talking. I
yeah,
would say it was different because Trump wasn't like interrupting as much. So I think
yeah. He calmed down a little bit.
he learned his lesson. He was able to calm down. But besides that, it was sort of like you know who you're voting for at this point. I don't really think there's a lot of things they can say that's gonna change your mind or sway your opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's how I was feeling. Not much of my opinion on either side has changed. I've
Mm-hmm.
just been a little bit more aware of um my general feelings towards all of it. I actually recorded another video yesterday that is going to be up in a little bit, but I literally just talked on the fact that this debate, I mean, this election is very important. Although I'm not necessarily for either one side, like just in terms of my morals and what I believe in, both candidates don't really reach me that well. They don't understand me that well. I can't relate, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware of all the things that aren't good in both of them, and I'm gonna go for best choice and understand that even after even no matter who I vote for, the fight still continues. Like everything that's still a problem in the world, I'm not going to just like be like, okay, I got this candidate. That's it right there. Like no, like even after we get our decision, we find out who's it. Still gotta remember like what's important to us and keep trying to keep fighting
Right.
for it. Um,
So,
yeah,
so first thing I got to ask, so you did vote, or did you vote?
yeah,
Okay,
I yeah,
that's
all right,
good.
bro.
That's good because I think they pretty much set a record for like early voting, pretty much in like
Mm-hmm.
every state. I think
Yeah.
it's something like 94 million ballots have already been cast.
Mm.
There's been a lot of like early voting. I remember it actually got to a point where like it was annoying the shit out of me. Like everywhere you see on social media,
Mm-hmm.
on every TV, every commercial was like, make sure you vote, make sure you
Yeah.
vote. That's why I was like, all right, I get like I'm gonna vote, like I get it, I'm gonna register. Like I got so mad. I'm like, yo, leave me out like Facebook every time I open up Facebook. Make sure you vote every Instagram ad.
Yeah.
Have you registered to vote? I'm like, yo, get the fuck out of my face.
No, it's
I'm gonna
everywhere.
vote. Yeah, so then I was because I did a mail-in ballot, so like I was
Hmm.
skeptical because you heard the rumors of it might not get there in time and
Right.
everything. But we live in Maryland. It's not a battleground state, so I mailed it
Right.
in, and then they just sent me confirmation like over the weekend, like yeah, we got your ballot. So I'm like,
That's dope.
all right, they counted my vote, but I mean,
Uh-huh.
Maryland's gonna vote Democratic either way. So like our vote didn't necessarily well, it matters, but like our vote wasn't
Hmm.
gonna sway the the what do you call it? the general opinion of most Maryland people. Like Maryland's gonna
Right.
vote Democratic, but like it was still nice just to like get our ballot out, just know like yes, I voted. So nobody come from me if Trump wins and they say who didn't vote because I voted. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
The kid might come for you.
Like I voted, I did my part. So come for somebody else.
No,
But
yeah,
yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, I when it comes to like the whole like state voting thing, this is something I want to talk about in like another topic.
Mhm.
Just how the that's a problem I have with the political system. I don't really understand a lot of it.
Mhm.
But the one of the main things I don't get, and I'm pretty sure this, and this was a thing that happened during the 2016 election as well,
Mhm.
because Trump he did not win a popularity vote, I think is what it is, where
I think it was something like 3 million. He lost the popular vote by around
right,
3 million people.
right, but then he ended up getting voted in because of the electoral votes.
Right.
Right, and that was a big problem when it came down to it. So a couple weeks ago, when he had appointed a new judge, her name is Amy Coney Barrett. A
Yep.
lot of people had a lot of opinions about that because he's inviting someone else into the Supreme Court when it's not our choice. It's all on him, and technically in terms of popularity, we didn't even want him as a president
Right.
in terms of the numbers.
You are
So
seeing, so what we are seeing is a complete, like, the people's voices or the people's, like, our choice is not being represented
right,
because going back to the 2016 election, Trump did not win the popular vote.
right,
Hillary won it by I think it was around 3 million people, right?
hmm,
But because of the electoral college, because it's they do like the winner take all system, and because certain Republican states, your individual vote holds more power than like a more democratic state.
hmm,
Trump wins the office, so now you have a president that is fairly unpopular,
hmm,
appointing judges, issuing executive orders, doing it by the will of the people, even though majority of the people did not vote for him.
right,
And now you have a situation with Amy Coney Barrett, right?
hmm,
I think it was something like she was the fastest nominee ever appointed
right,
to the Supreme Court. I think they did it in like a month or something
right.
like it was fairly quick.
It was
You
pretty
probably
quick,
saw,
yeah.
yeah, and that's the hypocrisy of the Republican Party because going back to Obama's last year in office, he tried to nominate a Supreme Court justice, but he tried to do it like I think it was something like 8 months before the presidential election.
Hmm,
But Republicans essentially blocked it because they said, "Hey, this is an election year. We're going to let the next president decide who elects the next judge into office."
right,
So Obama tried to appoint a judge 8 months before an election. Trump does it fucking right around the corner of the 2020 election, and the Republicans they're like, yeah, it's cool. We'll we'll let it through because it's like they know that like they might lose power. Like Republicans
hmm,
might lose a lot of power. Trump might not win re-election, and a lot of the senators in the Senate they might not win re-election. So then you're gonna have a situation where they don't have any power to enforce the judge that they might want next year or so. So like it's just crazy how it's like they just try to like they just try to sabotage essentially because
yeah,
like they know what they're doing. Like she's this lady Amy Coney Barrett, like just the research I've done on her, it's like a lot of people fear that like she might because now you have I think it's a conservative majority rule in the Supreme Court. So they fear that like you're talking about like taking away Obamacare, you're talking about Roe v. Wade, which is like the stance on abortion. Like these
hmm,
different laws, these different rules might be affected now that you have a conservative majority in the Supreme Court. But like, yeah, it's a shit show, honestly. But like, that just goes to show you how it's like it's really important that we all vote in this
yeah,
year's election. Which like we've been seeing it all over like social media, all
hmm,
over like the internet. But it's like your lack of voting is what creates a situation like this, where it's like you have a president that was not favored by the people,
Hmm.
that lost a popular vote, and is implementing policies and appointing judges that like that the people don't want, or the people don't want to see in office. So like
Hmm.
that's why it's like it's just a it's just a shit show, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's why I was
Yeah,
talking
sorry, I
about
went on a little rant right there,
nah, bro,
but
it's all
you
good. Like you
gotta
got
inform the people. You get like you gotta know this stuff, man.
yeah, for
You
sure.
gotta know this stuff, man.
Exactly. And that's why I got the questions and these things. Cause like yeah, I don't really have all that knowledge. I don't look too much into politics. I've
Right.
always avoided it. But yeah, now I'm very into it. Like I really want to make sure that, I'm a part of making our country a better place. And
Hmm.
yeah, I always have questions about like the party system thing. There's always this debate, there's always this fight between red and blue, between liberals and conservatives, between
Right.
Democrats and
Right.
Republicans. It
Right.
always makes me wonder like why people have to be limited to certain things like that. Why you have to be all one party or things like that. And like especially when it comes down to like the elections, like why doesn't the majority just win automatically? I thought democracy meant that the people decided who we wanted. Why did it get moved up to electoral votes and completely just cheated? So why do we still run with that system? Why hasn't that been changed and things like that? So I always have these questions. What did you think about that?
Now you're talking about like why do we have like the electoral college system like in
Right.
general?
Yeah.
Um, I am not. So I'll say this: I am not like a historian. Like, so don't quote me on anything, but like just on the research that I've done, when they formed the electoral college system, like, or when like even in recent past history, when like they have made attempts to abolish it for like new modern methods, I'll say it like that. I think it's because you really have to look at it where it's if we switch to what do you call it, like just doing a normal popular vote,
Hmm.
then really if you think about it, then like states like Iowa or Georgia, or a lot of these like, or Wisconsin, a lot of these like Midwestern states, their vote really wouldn't matter, because the only places that would really matter is like California, Texas, New York, like states where
Hmm.
you have the largest population, you have the largest demographics. So the way the electoral college like it's currently structured, it's structured in a way where it's like it favors the more Republican states, right? Because essentially how, like, if you really look at the math, it's like it's like you have more electoral votes in more like Republican states, like their votes way more, or their votes I'm trying to think about how to best articulate this. It's sort of like the more democratic states, like, yeah, essentially like their vote matters less because they have such a large population. So like it's not
Hmm.
like the proportions of uh, voters to electoral college is not the same as if you were to go to a Republican state like a Wisconsin or Iowa or one of those more rural states. So essentially, like it helps maintain balance, or like helps keep the Republicans from, or it helps keeps the Democratic states from having too much power in the voting system.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to best explain it, but like,
Nah, bro, you're good.
yeah, but that's essentially why, like, if you were to look to see like which politicians would be in favor of like keeping the electoral college, and which politicians would be in favor of like replacing it with something like new, something more modern, it's usually split between like Republicans want to keep it, more Democrats want to like change it to something new, because it gives the Republican states more power. I'll say it like that.
Yeah. Okay. No, I hear you on that. So another part of the other systems, just the government in general, that this isn't a structural thing. This is just more of a social thing. Um, just like the stereotypes that fit into each system. Like, what do people say liberals look like? What do conservatives look like? What's the majority population? What's the race? Where are these people from? What's their class? And I mean, one of the things that has really bothered me over the past few weeks was Biden's interview with Charlemagne the God.
Yeah, that
where
pissed off
he
a lot
that
of
little quote
people.
where he's like, "If you're still questioning between voting between Trump and me, then you ain't black." And my instant
Yeah,
reaction, man,
yeah.
I made a face. It was just like,
I'm just like, yo, who the fuck are you?
exactly. That's exactly what I
Like
said.
what? Nah,
Like,
yeah. It pissed off a lot of people. For a lot of like the conservatives, like a lot of the black conservatives, it was
hmm
basically them their opportunity to say, like, yeah, see, we told you. They see you black people as just sheep to
hmm
just vote
right.
Democratic all the time. They don't really care about your opinion or whatever. So what he said was wrong, right? I don't think anybody
hmm
will like disagree with that, right? What he said was
right.
wrong. I believe he apologized for his statements,
hmm
or he retracted his statements. I'm not sure, but I believe I saw a video where like he retracted his statement.
hmm
But like it's a it's a hard truth, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because for me, like if you have more conservative beliefs, I think I'm okay with that, right? Like
Right.
if you have conservative beliefs as opposed when in terms of like economic policies, right? Like a lot of
hmm
conservatives, they don't like a lot of high taxes, right?
right.
Like if they don't like a lot of like the welfare systems. So like I can understand that. So but I think just the issue with it is like if you say you are a Trump supporter,
hmm
you say you ever
hmm
believe Donald Trump is doing a great job in office, and if you support him, that's where I sort of have an issue with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, that's where it's like I can't get with that. Like so,
Right. Yeah, because that's like agreeing to somebody's character and their
yeah,
entire behavior and things like that. And that's very true. Like people follow Trump because I mean they think that he's the perfect voice for them, that he represents everything they represent. And that's a problem because he isn't a good representative at all. All the things that he's done and said and
he's
addressed.
a narcissist. He lies frequently to the media.
hmm
I mean, he's done and said a lot of stuff.
Right.
His language is very divisive. It's
hmm
That's what I mean. We're this close to election day, so we'll see what
Yeah.
happens. We'll see what happens.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I like. Yeah. My whole idea is, I mean, I be on terms with, these two representatives, but I want to be more on terms with the one who's going to represent us
Yeah.
better, especially when it
What
comes to Black America.
What do you think of Kamala Harris? I'm actually curious.
I don't know too much about her. I do know that she hasn't necessarily done like hazardous things or said hazardous things to the Black community. At least not that I know of, but I know that a lot of people had problems with her because of how she treated um discussions about criminals and like the prison
Mm,
system and things like that. I have to do a little more research because I can't recall everything right
right.
now.
Yeah, I have to do a little bit more research on her. So like, I'm not gonna comment too much on like her political history, but I would say just listening to her talk, something about her rubs me the wrong way,
hmm
because I think I get the sense that like she's not really genuine. Like
hmm
she says a lot of things in a lot of phrases where it's just like it just sounds like fluff, like just being a politician, just
I got you.
wanting to say the right thing. So I'm just like everything that she says oftentimes it just feels scripted, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel
Like
you.
I mean like she's doing what she has to do. Like I'm sure
hmm
she has a team that's telling her, hey, this is what you gotta say. But like, sometimes when you listen to her talk, and maybe it's also because we've gotten so used to like, listening to Donald Trump just say off the top of his head what he's
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah,
So so he just says random shit. So like when I listen to her, I'm just like, you don't really sound genuine. You don't
right.
really sound like that's what you believe in. She just says things that it just sounds like fluff. I don't know how to describe it, but like
Yeah,
I'm kind of put off by her. Like I think she's probably a nice lady, but like I just don't think she sounds all too genuine when she speaks. You know what I mean?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm really not sure. I just remember like when she was announced to like be Biden's running mate, a lot of people were calling her a hypocrite. And
Yeah,
they
because
were
she was
just like certain
attacking
points.
Biden.
Right, exactly. So yeah, a lot of people were upset about that and had a lot of things to say about on that topic. But yeah, I don't really have like a lot when it comes to her. Haven't really done a lot of research on her. I don't know, I just haven't seen her as an important figure when it comes to the election like that. Even though she does have a very important spot.
Yeah, I mean she is the VP, and
Yeah,
hey, if anything happens to Biden, that's your president.
Oof. Cool.
You
Hey.
said,
Well, I need like I need to do some more research on that. I mean, yeah, I've already cast my vote, but even like I said, even after the vote and like the fight still continues, you still gotta stay up on things, still gotta know what's going on. Can't just I can't get comfortable at that point. Um, so to move on, there is another part of the elections in terms of people who endorse our candidates. And there's been a lot of talk in the news about specific rappers, celebrities who
mm,
are talking to Trump about his plan for Black America, or just reaching out to the presidents in general. We got a good couple. We got a couple of them. You know, a classic OG Ice Cube. I
the
was interviewed
OG.
for it, a big OG, and he, yeah, people had found out that he had a meeting with Trump, and they took that as he was endorsing Trump. He was all for it, and Ice Cube scheduled an interview with CNN with Chris Cuomo.
Yeah.
And it was a very interesting interview. Did you get a chance to watch any of it?
I think I watched a snippet of it, but
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was
really recall what was discussed.
yeah. So they literally just talked about well, Chris Cuomo. First question, Ice Cube, like, are are you for Trump? And Ice Cube instantly was just like, nah, I don't know why people keep assuming that. Like, I didn't go to Trump to, to
I
pledge
think he
my
said
support.
Trump went to him, or like Trump's people reached out to him.
Yeah, something like that. I know Ice Cube. He was very interested in learning about both the presidents or both the candidates' plans for Black America. So he wanted to sit down and talk with them and hear about what their plan was. And Trump was one of the people who got back to him about it. So he went to go meet with Trump and had a discussion with him. But yeah, throughout the entire interview, Ice Cube is just letting us know that yeah, I'm not pledging any of my support. I just wanted to talk to him and see what they said. And depending on who had the best plan, who really did care about Black America, that's who's going to get my vote. So he never declared who he was voting for, and he had to keep defending that because a lot of people were on him about it, saying who is this man who was screaming "fuck the police" all these years ago? Why is he supporting this man who, yeah,
Yeah,
things like that.
yeah, exactly. Like if you just watch Straight Outta Compton, it's like that's the same Ice Cube, right?
Yeah,
Saying fuck the fuck.
yeah.
Now
So
he's endorsing Trump. That's funny. Well,
yeah,
so I think what he's referring to in that is, I think it's called the Platinum Plan.
yeah, the platinum
Um,
plan. That's what he's
I've heard
calling
a
it.
lot of talk about it. Um, I've tried to do some research on it, but like I think it's a way to like give a lot of what is it called? Give a lot of capital and money to Black communities.
Hmm.
I think I'm reading now. It's a plan that promises to increase access to capital in Black communities by almost $500 billion over the next 4 years. And like you can actually like look up on it and like read up on it. It
Hmm.
says achieving historic employment levels by giving Black communities different contract and things like that, saying 3 million new jobs for Black communities, which it's one of those things where it's like I'm not really sure how genuine and effective it really is, because like it's Trump, right?
Right.
You really, anything Trump endorsed or Trump ran, you really gotta like take it with the grain of salt, because it's just like, all right, this is the same guy that like was scamming people with Trump University. So like you gotta, you gotta like take everything with the grain of salt. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. It's for the same reason I think was it Lil Wayne that just recently came out and endorsed
Hmm.
Trump,
Yeah, he's like
which
full on support.
which I mean, hey, Wheezy, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'm looking at this post I found, and I'll send it to you. But somebody posted on Instagram as soon as the plans came out, and just pretty much did like a side by side, trying to,
Hmm.
differentiate what the plans talk about in terms of criminal justice, systemic racism, healthcare, education,
Wait, what was that
affordable
second word that
housing.
you said?
What was it? Systemic racism.
Oh, systemic racism. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, like the typical Trump fashion, he doesn't necessarily address things directly.
Mhm.
He's indecisive. He's a
He just says shit. Literally, he just says shit that just comes to his mind.
yeah, like he
Like
doesn't stick to any idea.
you can never get a coherent thought
Hmm.
from like I don't know. This is probably like I think I'm really becoming like an old man, but like if you ever watched the show 60 Minutes, where
Hmm.
it's basically like it's like for old people, right? So they had an episode where essentially they interviewed all the presidential candidates and the VP
Mm,
candidates, and they interviewed Mike Pence. It went well. They interviewed Kamala Harris. They interviewed Joe Biden. But then when they interviewed Donald Trump, this man was so defensive. And then he eventually just like walked out of the meeting. He was like, "You're so negative. You give me these hard questions, but you don't ask Joe Biden. You give him softball questions.
uh-huh.
We're doing a great job with the coronavirus. Nobody's dying." And he was just like, "What are you doing, bro?" And then eventually he just walked out of the meeting. And
Yeah.
then the secretary came out, and then they was like, "Wait, so is he gonna come back?" She was like, "Nah, he's not coming back."
Oh my goodness, man,
I
that's
was just like, "Why
crazy.
is he so sensitive? Like he's so defensive."
Cause
But
he know he ain't shit.
she was attacked because like he said because he know he ain't shit. Because I remember they asked him like, "You see the coronavirus is a huge deal, but you're still having rallies. Nobody's wearing masks.
Hmm.
Nobody's social distancing."
Right.
And he's like, "Listen, we're doing a great job where everybody's safe." That's just like, I'm just like, "Yo, shut the hell up." And eventually he just like walks out the meeting. I don't know, like you really just gotta see this stuff, like his demeanor, his attitude. It's hilarious to me sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hopefully he won't be reelected. Um, but anyways, um, another celebrity was 50 Cent because he's voting for Trump because he don't want to become 20 Cent.
Oh my
I'm reading
god,
this right off the screen, bro. This is
that
hilarious.
shit was, I was dying when you said that.
That's
It's
I mean it's a
that
good joke.
it was hilarious. I don't want to be 20 Cent
I
because
don't
I
want to
don't
be
even
20
think
Cent.
I don't think it's completely accurate though. I gotta like read up on the tax plans again, like, but like I don't think it's true that like it's gonna severely tax the rich to the extent that he's saying, to the point where he's gonna be 20 Cent or whatever. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You really can't relate to celebrities at all because they be in their own
Yeah,
worlds. Like, it don't make no sense. They see everything completely different. And
but what really pissed me off, and I don't know if you heard, but his ex girlfriend Chelsea Handler, I think
mhm,
she's like a comedian or whatever. She did an interview with, I believe it was Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel
mhm,
or Jimmy Fallon, one of them. And then she was talking, and she was basically like, "Yeah, I heard 50 said that he was gonna endorse Trump, and I had to remind him that he can't do it because he's black." Or she said something along those lines,
mhm,
basically saying like he can't endorse Trump, or he can't be a Republican because he's black. And that sort of like rubbed me the wrong way. It was similar to how we were
mhm.
talking about the Joe Biden thing, where it's
Right.
like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. It's like don't tell me because I'm black I have to
Mhm.
vote a certain way, or
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
have to vote for a specific candidate. Like, we can disagree. We can disagree on who would be best suited to run the Oval Office, obviously, but like, don't say
Mhm.
because I'm black I have to vote a certain type of
Yeah.
way. Like, that shit just sort of rubbed me the wrong way. Let me see if I can pull up the actual quote.
Yeah. Yeah, while you looking it up, yeah, like this there should be this emphasis that because we're black, we have to vote a specific party, and that's an
Yeah.
I'm not in agreement with. Yes, I do think that we shouldn't vote for Trump because of who he is as a person. Um,
Mm,
that's important, but at the end of the day, people still have their choice. But yes, it would be nice if people didn't vote for Trump because of who he is and the things he's done and said. But it doesn't mean that all black people have to be Democrat or have to only follow the Democratic Party. Like, because I know a bunch of people who aren't for Biden either. So
yeah.
when it comes down to it, it's ideals and beliefs, and we just don't agree with the person who's been in charge for the past couple of years. We never did.
Yeah. So, okay, let me read the actual quote now. She said, "So he doesn't want to pay 62% in taxes because he doesn't want to go from 50 cent to 20 cent. And I had to remind him that he was a black person, so he can't vote for Donald Trump. And then he shouldn't be influencing an entire swath of people who may listen to him because he's worried about his own personal pocketbook.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, it was just that I had to remind him that he was a black person. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and this lady is white. Let
Yeah, I was
me
about to
make
ask.
sure that like, yeah, she's a white lady. So it's just like, is that racist? Let me ask you, is that racist?
I don't think it's racist. No.
Is
I
that?
I do think
I
that
think it's
it's
ignorant at the very least.
a little, yeah,
Ignorance.
for sure. Just that
Ignorant.
again, that assumption that people think they know what black people are supposed to do. Like they try to assume and tell people, black people, what they should do,
Yeah.
and it's just like, like we have our own ability to make our own choices, so we can do this ourselves. We don't necessarily need people telling us or trying to guide us anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But you know what the worst part is? Even with all that, we still gotta vote for Biden just because of who Trump is.
Right,
You know
mostly,
what I
yeah,
mean? So
legit,
it's like it is what it is. It is what it
yeah,
is.
yeah, for sure. Um, yeah, so that's everything I have in terms of our candidates and things like that. Yeah, my ending thing is yeah, again, people who are listening, go do research.
Go do your
Do-
research. Go vote, please, for the love
yes,
of God.
of
If you
course.
have not voted already, please just go vote. Just take time off of work. Just do what you got to do. Just go vote at
Hmm.
this point because I think it will be too late for mail-in ballots. I've heard a
Hmm.
lot of rumors that
Yeah,
it may
like,
not count it. So just
yeah,
it'll be better
don't
still to
send
do
it,
it in
drop it off
person.
somewhere. Like
Drop it
take
off
it
in
to a place
person.
physically, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, I wanted to talk about yeah, people who are going to go vote, like it's important. It means so much to everybody, not just majority, not just to the Democrats or to any specific people. Like it means a lot to everybody, and not even just people in the US or even people around the world. Like you vote as
Right.
American citizens, but for the position that the US has in the world, like everything that we do is super important. And this is our chance to stand up and let people let our own voices be heard.
Right.
Then on top of that, I think this is just something I like. I feel like when it comes to like future elections or just how things go in general. Like I think we need younger people in politics. I'm kind of getting tired of seeing old people running everything.
Definitely.
Yeah,
The
so
election literally between I think 77-year-old and a 74-year-old,
yeah,
and I'm really skeptical about the 77-year-old making it to the full term of his office. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. Like old white people just kind of need to step to
yeah,
the side.
yeah,
Like
like
guys, is
no, like
in
yeah,
all
let's
honesty,
call a
yeah,
spade a spade. Like,
yeah, um,
especially if you look at like some of these European countries where they have like female leaders, where they have much younger
hmm,
elected officials, and then we just look at us. It's like, I mean, we got some young people like in Congress, like in the
yeah.
Senate, in the House of Representatives, but like in terms of like actually running for president, like how do we get back to seeing a 77-year-old white guy and
Yeah.
versus a 74-year-old like
Yeah, you need to, like old white men have already had that rule for years, so let's just get rid of it. Like
yeah,
we
I want to
need
see some
different
new
people stepping
blood,
up.
some young blood, some young
Yeah,
blood.
for sure. Yeah, I know when I was doing like my elections for like like the mayor and things like that, comptroller, all like the other people who were
Hmm.
being elected. Um, I didn't necessarily focus on who was younger, but I was very glad to see that there were young people who are getting into this
Yeah,
stuff.
did you know? I don't know if you had it on yours, but it was a guy from a UMBC alum.
Really?
He was on the ballot. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Um. Oh man, why am I forgetting his name right now? Yeah, like way I think way out before you and me though. Like, uh,
Hmm.
but not too old. If I remember his name, I'll get it back to you. But he was on the ballot as well, so he's probably maybe early 30s or something like that,
Okay.
late
Yeah.
20s.
That's cool. That's cool. That's
So
what's up.
yeah, so yeah, we
Get
got
some
a
we need some
UMBC.
representatives in there.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, do you have any other advice for people who are going out to vote?
Uh, where's everybody gonna watch? Like, are they gonna be like election parties? I'm actually
That's what I'm
curious.
wondering. Especially with like the whole like
I'm probably not gonna go to one, but like,
yeah, I would hope not.
I got a busted leg. So
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm actually like a little unsure of how they're gonna like do like the like elections announcements and everything, especially because people are like mailing that stuff in. Um, yeah, I'm gonna look it up later, but yeah, that's all I
yeah,
have in terms of elections right now.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes, man. Hey, it's gonna be a crazy 48 hours. Next 48 hours, man.
Yeah,
This is
for
like the
sure.
election, just like it's all come down to this. Like we've been looking at this day for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're finally gonna see, like, do we have 4 more years of Trump, or we gonna have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? So we'll see how it goes. But hey, just everyone do your part, go out and vote, and let the let the marbles fall however they fall.
Hey, that's what's up. Um, well, I don't know why my screen got really white for a second. Are we good? All right. So we have one more thing we want to get into.
Mhm.
We've been in coronavirus lockdown for 6, 7 months.
It started in
It's about
March, right?
started in March. Yeah, mid
Yeah,
March. So yeah, we've been on this 8 months, going on 8 months.
yeah, about eight
Um,
months.
yeah. So we've been in lockdown for this entire time, and it's felt like an eternity. And now there are some doctors who are petitioning to have the lockdown end. The reasons being, they feel like the lockdown wasn't necessarily justified. There was no research, there was any proof that said the lockdown was going to be effective in limiting the spread of the virus.
Hmm.
They also felt like we just been in here way too long. Like I said, it's been 8 months.
Hmm.
And they started, yeah, like mid March, and it's been going on this entire time. And lockdown hasn't necessarily even been well enforced. People have still been
Right.
out, going out to the
Yeah,
beach,
I
going
wouldn't
out to
necessarily
parties
say
and things
we've
like
been
that.
in lockdown for 8 months. We've different states have had different periods of lockdowns to like different extents, right? So like
Mhm.
in Maryland, I remember. I mean, everybody's been. We've had the stay-at-home orders. They've put in place curfews, but like in recent months, they've like lifted restrictions. A lot of businesses, restaurants have opened back up. Um, you had the Ravens game the other day, and they allowed like fans into the stands. I think it was something
Mhm.
like over 4,000 fans like in the stands. I'm sure they
That's
had some
wild.
social distancing, but like they really lifted restrictions. So I think the issue with lockdowns is like it's it's like a balancing act, right? Because like if you look at it, right, why are we locking down, right? We're locking
Mhm.
down to stop the spread of coronavirus, right?
Right.
So people can like be safe, so those that will be most affected, they don't get exposed, and
Mhm.
you don't endanger their lives, right? So we don't start seeing hospitalizations like go up. But on the other hand, it's like if businesses are shutting down, if people don't have the means to feed themselves, to feed their families, to pay their rent, to pay their mortgage, then it's kind of like, what's the point of a lockdown if people don't have the means to support themselves anyway? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's like, so it sort of has to be like a balancing act, right? So
Mhm.
I don't think, because I've heard rumors that like, oh, if Joe Biden gets elected, he's gonna just like shut down the entire country. The entire country's gonna be in lockdown. I don't think that's gonna be the case. I
Mhm.
think it'll more so be like go state to state, city to city, see what the numbers are. Like
Mhm.
Maryland's done a really good job with the coronavirus positivity rate. I think it was under 2% for a long time. Right now, I think it's like above 2% in terms of like the positivity rate. Like I recently got COVID tested.
Mhm.
Was it last Wednesday or Thursday, and my results came back negative. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like it wouldn't make sense for like Maryland to lock down again because we've been doing so well. But
Right.
like I think it really just has to be a case by case basis, city by city, and then like you just sort of go from there. You sort of protect those who are most vulnerable and just
Mhm.
go from there.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I like the doctors are completely aware that like they truly believe that lockdown just wasn't it wasn't the best way to do it. It wasn't that lockdown wasn't the best way to do it. It was the way that our government went about doing it because different states it was different. Like in some places,
Yeah,
people would be allowed
because
to go out with no issue,
there was
no
never
no
and
consequence.
you have to blame Trump for this because it's like there was never a nationwide sort of plan or course of action.
Hmm.
There was sort of like different states, different cities just did whatever they wanted to do and mandated masks if they wanted to. Sometimes they didn't want people wearing a mask. You had different people saying different things. So so that I think contributed to the spread because now you're seeing this sort of like up and down wave, right? I think
Hmm.
recently we had like a high where it was like
Yeah,
70,000 new cases
yeah, it was
in
an
a single
increasing
day,
as
which
of
is like a
recent.
new record. Like it's crazy. So it's just like people just don't know what they're doing. State
Hmm.
officials are just like all over the place with what they believe and what they what type of lockdown they're putting in place. So I mean, it's a shit show, but like, I don't think we need to go back to a national lockdown. But like, I just wish there was a more sort of, I just wish there was a more balanced effort or
Hmm.
more organized effort on what we're doing and like how we'll go about like lifting and placing restrictions.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the doctors brought up a lot of different points about how lockdown was just negative in terms of, scaring people to the point where they're not going outside. And so it's affecting their mental health, it's affecting their physical health because they're not doing anything all day. Um,
Right.
and then they also believe that normalizing, like kind of like just getting back to the regular thing, or just having less restrictions and allowing people to be out, it's still in limited numbers, but just
Mm,
not with like the term of lockdown. Allowing people to be around each other again, and I can't remember the specific term, but pretty much people kind of like adapting, and
mm.
I can't remember the term, but yeah, pretty much becoming immune to the virus through being around other people. I don't know. It's kind of a weird term. I know I've heard it a couple other times,
Is that
but it's
herd immunity?
something like that. Maybe I'll find an article real quick. Um, if you're watching this, I'll leave links to the resources or the things that I we're talking about in this video in the description box. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, they say it in that video. But yeah, pretty much people adapting to the virus just through being around each other, kind of like building up
Yeah, I mean, I would assume
immunization. Yeah.
the only way you can get immune is to like absence of a vaccine. The only way you can get immune is to contract the virus and build the antibodies for the
Hmm.
virus. So in that
Yeah.
case, you have to get affected.
Right. So
So then you're talking about you could have a situation with herd immunity where enough people in society have gotten the virus and have become immune to it to the point where it's like those that are most vulnerable can't contract the virus or are less likely to affect the virus because most people around them can't spread it no anymore. If that makes sense.
yeah, for sure. And I think it's an interesting take, especially because there are people who have, contracted the virus again. They had it, they
Yeah, I've
got better,
heard that.
and
I
then
didn't
they
think it was
got it.
possible before, but I've heard that. Like, so
Yeah,
if you can contract the virus twice, then that changes everything. Honestly.
yeah. So that's why it's pretty controversial. Just trying to like decide, like,
Yeah.
do we stay in lockdown or do we try to normalize things again?
I mean, Trump has been bragging that we're gonna have a vaccine in like a few weeks. You know what I
Man, no,
mean?
he
But like, I
isn't.
don't trust you. I mean, I was saying
No.
like, you can take it first. Your whole family take it first, and
You're
then
right.
I'll take it. Let's see how y'all
Especially because
feel.
he already had it. He
He
had it.
already
Like it's
had it.
crazy.
Yeah, and just full disclosure, he had it, and they flew him to Walter Reed. I think, which is in, I think is in Maryland. Like it's close
I think
by.
so.
So like he had the best treatment, the best doctors. He didn't just get like he didn't get the same treatment we're getting or we would get. Like he
Right.
had special treatment. He had special doctors like watching over him. So like don't think, oh, because Trump beat it and he's 74, that means anybody can beat it. Like no.
Hmm.
Trump is an outlier in that case,
Hmm.
not the rule, you know what I mean? So you really gotta you really gotta take everything that he says with a grain of salt because I remember right as soon as he like recovered from it, he was saying like, yeah, I'm basically immune. Like the virus is nothing to be scared of. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
Hmm.
don't say that, bro.
He can't. Yeah, and that's
Because like a lot of elderly people will die from this virus. Like they don't all have access to special doctors like you know what I mean? So
exactly. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean that's what fault in our leader, man. Like he's not the right person to represent us. He doesn't know what
yeah.
he's saying or doing.
Do you think? Because like I've been like trying to have this conversation with a lot of different people. When do you think sort of life will go back to normal? I'm thinking sometime like next summer. That's what I'm thinking. Like summer of 2021 is when like it'll largely be behind us because I think early next year we'll have a vaccine, and then like by the time summer gets around, like a lot of people have taken the vaccine, and like a lot of people will have had immunity to it. So then it'll no longer be a situation where you're scared of contracting the virus or you're scared of corona. You know what I mean? So when do
Um,
you think that society will be back to normal, so to speak?
I think it'll still be a while. Um, Summer would be ideal. I would love to get back
That
to
would be
everything like
nice.
ASAP, especially when the summer hits. But I know that like the trials like take a good amount of time, and then I'm sure that it's going to be hard to get the vaccine out to everybody immediately. Some people aren't
Yeah,
probably don't
it's
even
gonna be
want to take
hard.
the vaccine because
They're gonna be skeptical. A lot of
mhm,
people don't even have access to pharmacies and
exactly,
CVSs to even get the vaccine.
right.
So
So I think it's still going to be a good while, especially with the transition that's going to be happening with the government and all. I think it may take maybe the end of 21, maybe the beginning of
can't
22,
wait
which
that
would
long,
suck.
bro.
It would
I
suck. I
can't wait
know.
that long, bro.
I
I don't know
know,
if I can
man.
wait that long. I'm telling you that
I
right
know.
now.
I know,
Because
man.
even just this year, I was going crazy.
Hmm.
Just being in the house all day,
Yep.
nothing to do, nobody to see, man.
Yeah, man. It's
Just
sad.
pray for summer of 2021, bro.
Yeah.
Because, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that would be ideal, man. Especially when it comes to getting back to real life, man. Like I hate just sitting around the house not doing anything all day.
Yeah, I miss the clubs. I miss the bars. I miss like what do you call it? Like festivals and stuff like that, man.
Hmm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man. I've been so many concerts this year because of coronavirus, man.
Yeah, man. I was gonna go to Caravana in Toronto
Ooh.
over the summer, man, in August. But like,
Uh,
I was gonna go see Drake, say what's up to Drake. You know what I mean? But
oh my goodness.
Corona canceled that shit.
Yeah, man. And I mean, like, I just want to I just want to be around my family and friends all over again. Like my daughter hasn't been able to see the majority of my family yet because of
Um,
coronavirus. Everybody's still like housed up. So,
yeah.
I just want to, I'm trying to like, be around other people again, especially family and like very close friends.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I even saw you in person. When was the last time I saw you in person? Because it was before my graduation, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute, G.
Damn. So like 2019, early
Yeah,
2019.
yeah, that's so
Goodness
crazy.
gracious, bro. It's been that long, yo. Oh my goodness, bro.
That's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah,
Yeah, it literally since 2019. I haven't seen you this whole year in person. I haven't seen you this whole year.
yeah. Wow, man.
Coronavirus, shit is real.
Mm-hmm. Shoot,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah, hopefully we get the chance to get back to things like normal, bro. I want to hoop again. I kind of
Yeah.
I be hoping sometimes that like UMBC like will be open, but nah, like everything on campus is completely closed down. Even if I did
What
go,
about the
like
outdoor courts?
they had it locked up.
Damn, for
They
real.
don't even want people like playing outside. Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say maybe you could just find some people and just sneak on the outdoor courts,
The
but they
thing is,
closed that shit down too.
yeah, like me and Andy actually went out there. I think like early on in lockdown. Like so, this is like
Mm-hmm.
back in like maybe around like a little bit before May.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I remember we were like, we're gonna go there. This is like our last time hooping before we graduate, this and that, right? And like, yeah, it's chained up, but like we were both small enough to fit between like a little space in the gate. And we played for like a good like hour, right? And like our last game, we was like, all right, bro, we done after this. We tired. A cop pulled up, and and I mean he
Like,
was nice.
fuck off.
He was literally just like, hey, what you guys doing here? It's locked up. We're like, oh yeah, like this is like our last time playing here because we about to graduate. He was understanding and everything, but
Did he let y'all finish the game?
oh, we legit like just finished the game. We was done, like
Okay. Oh, that's nice.
just walked off the court and everything.
All right. So who won?
Oh, I won for sure.
Okay.
I'm for sure. Like, look,
Okay. You can't let your
like,
last game at UMBC leave with a loss. You
yeah,
cannot leave with a loss.
I'm saying I'm not like Andy's really good like when it comes to like team games, but when it's me and him 1-on-1, I beat him every time.
Did Andy graduate?
Yeah, he did too.
Okay. Same time as you?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Wait, you actually did you graduate early?
Nah, I did all 4 years.
You graduated spring of 2020.
Yeah, and I started
Oh,
2016.
okay. Oh yeah, because you graduated 1 year after me exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, man. We talked for a while. A lot of this towards the end has just been us just like socializing,
chilling,
talking.
yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want to put this part. You can put this part, but I don't know if you want to listen to
Casual
all
conversation is cool.
that. Yeah.
We're just
man.
two homies catching up. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Black in Session podcast. Remember, my name is Tyler Christian. You can find me on Instagram at Tyler Christian Evans. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe and view other videos on the channel. It means so much to me. And of course, today is election day when this video is being released. So please make sure you go out there and you go vote. It is your right as an American citizen, and it means so much to our country and to our world. And of course, be safe. The world could get crazy. And remember that the fight continues even after this. So peace and love. Until next time.